In honor of Women's History Month, we've been talking with female leaders in sports, politics, business, and entertainment. And this morning, we are focusing on every Friday during Women's History Month. All month long, we've been celebrating Women's History Month by talking with female leaders in sports, politics, business, and entertainment. And
nobody takes down Angus 7 easy. There's a reason why, after 100 channels destroyed, Angus 7 is still here. There's a reason why nobody want to get in a beat with Angus 7. But you don't take me seriously, and now your ass is barbecue.
Don't make the I got the answer. I can handle the hard question.
See, they say that Angus 7 don't care about the people. But Angus 7 cares about the people because I'm bold enough to tell you the truth. And I don't give a damn if you give me a dime. I'm not looking for your money. black people. It's all about the unity. There's nothing they can do with us, so ain't nobody.
We are in a state of emergency. Wrote a song about it? Like to hear? Here it go. Free your mind.
It's all about the unity. There's nothing they can do with us, so ain't nobody do with me. Like they don't want to make it play. Listen, when you tell me this, black people, it's all about the unity. There's nothing they can do with us, so ain't nobody move with me. Like that, you can't make it plain. Listen, when you tell me take fire and reality. Everybody jump. Everybody who is black and interested in black people, let us sit down and find out how we can get together in one direction against one enemy and accomplish this job overnight. When soul singer and black activist Sam Cooke wrote the lyrics to his song, "A Change Is Gonna Come," it was very direct and to the point. With some changes to it, the song was still digestible. In the year 2019, black folks continue to go through the change rather than direct the change. A community activist named Taalik Ibn'rad has made an appeal similar to what Sam Cooke was asking for. A change. It's said that the meek shall inherit the earth. We ask when. When will the landlords give the meek a free lease? Mr. Ibn'rad is humbly asking for the state of Mississippi.
This is Dusty Basement Studios, and we approve of this message.
The Mississippi Campaign represents everything that you claim that you want. The beginning of an all-black independent nation, the ability to control your own resources, your politics, the law, be able to do your own thing for a change, create an economy, create and produce goods that Africa or anybody on the planet would want. You think you don't want to do nothing. 3 hours talking about the Mississippi Campaign.
Cabinet 433. I wanted him to assume that I'm a person looking to get down with this Mississippi campaign. How does one get started with this? Sir? Mr. Angel Snupnup.
What was the question again? I didn't...
Y'all made me get up. Yeah, y'all made me goddamn go old school to the arena. Both y'all. I'm Gavin.
You still didn't answer the question, sir.
No, didn't.
He still didn't answer the question. You still didn't answer the question, sir.
Where it goes, nobody knows.
It's selfish to not allow a child to grow up. Some people spoil their children. They won't let them grow up. They keep, no matter how old they get, they keep letting, they want to do things for the child. Let your child grow up. Let these black people grow up.
Let's get away from the magic that we make her be so fine. Come on, love is our today. I'm going from my arms and she's tired.
Ride, ride, ride. Let's get this party started. Ride, ride, ride. Let's get this party started quickly. Let's get this party started quickly. Let's get this party started. Ride, ride, ride. Let's get this party started. Ride, ride, ride. Let's get this party started quickly. Let's get this party started quickly. Let's get this party started. Ride, ride, ride. Let's get this party started. Ride, ride, ride. Let's get this party started quickly. Let's get this party started quickly. Let's get this party started. Ride, ride, ride. Let's get this party started. Ride, ride, ride. Let's get this party started quickly. Let's get this party started quickly. Let's get this party started. Ride, ride, ride. Let's get this party started. Ride, ride, ride. Let's get this party started quickly.
I keep it real.
What dear?
Because I keeps it real like that. I keeps it real.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to this evening edition of what we call the Realist Temple on Earth Internet Ministry. Of course, I'm Angel Snuff number 7, and it looks like we already have a guest in the house, our brother and our friend, Denzel Rogers. Let's give him a hand, y'all. Denzel back in the house, in the hazizes.
How you doing, Angel Snuff?
I'm all right, sir. Glad to see you.
That's good, man.
We got Soul Traveler. Soul Traveler says, love, peace, and soul. All right. Mellow Cap is sending you the greetings there, Brother Denzel.
Have a good one, Mellow Cap.
Yeah, so, man, I've been on this exercise program. It's been whooping me. I feel better. I feel good, but it's whooping me because I will eat and it'll start putting me to sleep. You know, I'm already wore out as is, and then I eat something, no matter how little it is, it always puts me to sleep. That's why, because normally I would rather have my live streams like at 2:30, 3:30 or something like that in the afternoon. But I said, I'm not going to be able to make it. I'm too sleepy and too tired. Matter of fact, even right now, I'm like, ooh, I'm wore out. I don't know about going live tonight. I should cancel this one. But it's scheduled. It's scheduled, and we're going to do this. I did invite some other brothers, and I let them in if they come. Until then, what they say, the show must go on. So our topic for tonight is the importance of a strong Black family. What is family? What is the origins of family? Where it come from? Why do we need a family? And why must it be strong? Does it make a difference if it's a Black family? With some questions here we may or may not be able to answer. I'm gonna try to do a little something. I'm not the smartest person in the world. Denzel can tell you I ain't the smartest person in the world. I just give my little opinion, and then I could be wrong. I could be wrong. And that's something you will not hear from a lot of platforms. You never hear them say, well, you know, I could be wrong. No, when they bring something to you, it's facts. This is how it go. You can bet your life on me. That's how they talk to you. I've been on YouTube since 2007. I've never came before the people and told you I'm a know-it-all. I've never come before the people and told you I'm some righteous, holier than thou type person. I don't make mistakes, and I never come before you. I'm just a little guy, your little brother who's been around for a while, and I want to pass my experience and my wisdom to you so that hopefully you can become better than me and you can avoid some of the pitfalls and the holes that I fell in. The purpose of the elders is to help the younger people not go down some of the non-beneficial paths that they fell in. Unfortunately, we have some elders that's foul. You have some elders, they only looking out for themselves, and they use their wisdom and they use their knowledge to enrich themselves. They're not looking out for the future. It's like in my lifetime, I'm pretty sure that in my lifetime, I would have plenty of fresh water, even though it's foul, even though it ain't all the greatest in the world. And this is something that many these Black people don't talk about. We can't drink salt water. And all over the world, fresh water is dwindling. And the fresh water that you get, of course, as you know, is polluted, it's foul. So it's good for you, and possibly you too, also, Denzel, that we will live during a period of time. Plenty of water. You can go in and take a shower, don't have to worry about it. You know, it's fresh and clean. You know, you probably took a nice clean shower before you came on the live stream. Let me clean up myself up, you know, go on the thing, snuffing up live stream, put on a little cologne, you know, dress up a little bit, you know. And, you know, there's plenty of water for us, okay? But what about the future generations? There's something, I believe it does come from the Holy Quran. But the Quran, it talks about how Allah warns us before there is punishment, before something bad happens to us. And we've been getting signs. Matter of fact, I believe there's a drought going on in California right now, and it's been going on for the last 20-some years. Most of us ignore it. We don't trip off of it. And the water is between California and Nevada. And you know, Las Vegas is supposed to be a desert. So they are damming waterways and running pipes to places where water shouldn't be. But now with the drought, this reservoir is getting lower and lower and lower. Don't have no effect probably on us right now, but it's going to be. And California hasn't been getting water like it's supposed to. That's why all these fires continuously keep breaking out in California. And these fires are out of control. So as an elder, as a parent, the responsibility is supposed to be for us to look out for the next generation so you can have plenty of water. But we're not doing those things. What is black power without water? You got to drink. You can't raise a farm. You can't have a farm. You can't raise food without no water. Chickens need water. Cows need water. Plants need water. If you don't have these water, this water, you're done. And just recently, a few years ago, I remember there was a drought in Georgia. It got to the point where those counties in Georgia was really getting violent over because the water supply was getting really, really low. And I think it was Fulton County and some other counties in Georgia. They was getting ready to like, hey, we're getting ready to go to court over this and getting ready to fight over water rights. When there's plenty of everything, there's no problem. But when resources start to dwindle, and see, this is a natural problem. Nobody can't make it rain like that. And some of our problem is man-made. Like when you go to the store and your favorite potato chips ain't there. Well, it's a shortage. They don't have, truck can't get there, man-made type stuff. But what we gonna do without water? And these type of issues, the Black conscious community, I've never heard them speak on things like this at all, period, never. These are important things because you need water to live. You need air to breathe. What's the sense of having black power when the air you breathe is giving you cancer? What's the sense of running around here talking about, well, Denzel, I don't eat meat. That's graveyard food. I don't eat meat. I only eat fruits and vegetables, and only the organic fruits and vegetables. What the hell who cares about that when the air you breathing is polluted, filled with gas and all kinds of cancer-causing elements? So what's the sense? Okay, you eating these vegetables and even the plants and the ground, the earth that your plants is coming from out of is polluted. So what are you bragging about? I don't see why these people are bragging about. We have to clean this earth up because it's all we got. I don't know about Mars. I don't know about Jupiter. Trying to go to these planets. You can't go to them now if you could. So you got to clean this up. And this is what we have to think about the future generations. And they're not thinking about it because these people, Denzel, you and I know these people are really, really selfish. The only thing they think about themselves and the now. They don't even have a vision. They can't even see into a future where they don't exist. That's why they want what they want when they want it. I want what I want now. I keep talking about, well, brother and sister, we won't be here. I won't be here. I want mine now. That's the kind of attitude you have from a lot of these people. They want theirs now. We're not doing this. We're not doing this. We're not doing this for us. We're doing it for future generations. That's what we're doing it for. Like the revolutionary patriots who fought for this country, they fought for the future generation. Many of them never saw America. They died on the battlefield. And that's our function, is to fight to make the future generations so they can do better, just like there were those who fought to make it better for us. We're so selfish. We're so selfish. But this also goes to show us the lack of family, the topic that we've chosen today. We don't see ourselves as family. I don't have to be biologically connected to you to see you as my son. I don't have to do that. Where is it written that I can't call a young brother my son, but he has to be my biological seed from my DNA? That's what family is about. Let's talk about family. Brother Talib, did you try to hit the link, didn't you, Brother Talib?
I tried to get in there, but I was having major technical difficulty.
Okay, if you want to, you can.
Ain't been acting right since I've been trying to get on YouTube anyway. I guess it's just going through a little technical difficulty right now. That's all.
Okay, well,
so I just figured I'd just get on loudspeakers, talk.
Okay, it's fine. Brother Denzel is here with us.
How you doing, Talib?
Denzel, all right, yeah, peace to you, brother Denzel.
Yep.
Okay.
Hope everything's going well with you. My bad, Talib.
Oh, go ahead. He wanted to find out if everything going good with you, brother Talib.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I appreciate it. Appreciate you asking, brother. Yes, sir.
All righty then. All right, so we got the little social stuffy out the way. Okay, all right. We're going to play Ring Around the Roses. I'm going to go first. Put my little tiddlywinks crap on the board. Then we're going to pass it over to Brother Denzel if he want to say something. He doesn't have to say something. He might just come just to give the brother some company. Then, of course, Brother Talib want to give his commentary. All right. I want to say this. So when we think about family, we think about, and on social media, one of the most popular things that we talk about is male and female relationships. And we talk about single motherhood versus the two-parent household. What is family? What is best for us? I want to tell you, and I want to begin this talk by saying, in the beginning, now I could be wrong, Denzel, raise your hand and say, hey, no, brother, you're incorrect. I stand, no, stop that right there. Feel free to cut me off, because I know that you're into the sciences and things of that nature in history. I know that you're into that. So if I'm straying out there going somewhere where I shouldn't be going, please correct me. Or you can even clarify if you want to, brother. You got me, Brother Denzel? You there? All right. Okay, here we go. Life begins in the micro world, microscopic world. And when you look at the microscopic world, there is no family. You look at these one-celled organisms and they run around going back and forth. There is no family. There is no one-cell organism going to another. Are you my daddy? And there's none of that kind of stuff going on. And this is how all of this started in the micro world. Just because our eyes can't see, it's all kinds of stuff going right in front of our eyes. We cannot see it. The eyes can't detect it. It's microscopic. Our body is made up of billions of one cells come together as one organism. So life begins in the micro world. And that's where it starts. And it continues for a long, long time. Now, as things begin to change and evolve, as they begin to change and evolve, we still have life right now. They're not in a family. Like bears. Bears don't live the family life. Male and female bears only come together to mate, and that's it. Matter of fact, he'll turn around and eat his cubs. Male tigers do the same thing. They don't hang around with the family. Oh, that's my son. I'm so proud. Come here, little cubby. They don't do that. Male tigers hit and quit and go about their business. There is no family. The only family is the mothers with their babies. And really, that's not family, because as soon as they get of age, mama say, you got to get the hell out of here, because she's ready to bring in a brand new batch. You too big. You go on, get out of here. She ain't interested. It's very rare that a lot of animals let their young hang around. Then you have something like a turtle. Turtles will never know their parents. The mama sea turtle come up on the beach, lay her eggs, she split. You're on your own. If the eggs hatch, they hatch. If they don't, they don't. She's gone. When the baby turtles show up, they don't know mother, they don't know father. There is no family. And that's life forms, numerous, all over the earth. A lot of animals live solo. So when you make mockery of somebody, oh, that's a single mother. Yeah, so what? There's a lot of animals. There's a lot of life. Where in the law do it say that I have to have a husband or a wife or a girlfriend? It can't just be me and my babies like the mama tiger or the mama bear. Mama bear raised male and female just fine without daddy being around. I ain't never seen a homosexual tiger. I never seen a homosexual bear. And mama tiger, mama bear raised both genders just fine. Now here you are, you have a human being who's supposed to be the most intelligent on the planet. You telling me that the woman is not qualified in order to raise both genders. That's what you're telling me. She's too stupid, but she's the most intelligent on the planet. So I don't get it. So how do we get into family? Well, according to what I know of in biology, when we talk about family, it begins when life began to understand that life trying to survive is easier if I join with somebody else. Now, we just talked about the mama tiger, which is fine, but she could increase the chances of her babies growing to adulthood if the father hung around. This is the reason why many animals began to understand I can make it better. Our babies can make it if we work as a team. This is when the ideal of family began. Birds began to use the strategy. Insects start to use the strategy. All life on this planet, many of them. The most successful life forms on the earth are those in family units, those who have learned how to use teamwork. And some of the most successful animals on the planet are ants. You can find ants all over the earth, I believe, except Antarctica. They work as a team. And another animal that's been very successful for millions of years is the bee. And that's what I want for us. I want us to be like the bee. I want us to be like the ants. They live in a society. There's no big I's or little U's. Everybody knows their role. My role ain't no better than your role. They understand that we have to work together or we all die together. That's their philosophy. Anything a bee do, he don't go around wondering, is that bee getting more than I am? They don't trip off stuff like that. And even though you call her the queen bee, they don't trip off of that. They don't, that's something that the men put that on that insect. That's just her job. And they all working as a unit because they all have a chance to survive. So it can begin with two individuals or two parents. That's the beginning of the family. And we begin to find out that that's a better strategy so our babies can survive. But it gets even better when this family join with another family. And this is what you see in the insect world, where there's a big group. Instead of 2 or 3 individuals or whatever, there's a big group. Bee life is a family life. And then when we talk about nations, do you know a nation is nothing but supposed to be a big family? Of course, the black people would tell you, no. I'm not family in the United States. That's what it's supposed to be. That's what it's supposed to be. A nation is nothing but a big tribe. It's supposed to be a big family. Everybody is interconnected. That's what nations are. That's why some of these nations and some of these tribes are so strong and don't really allow others to come into their family, because that's what it is, a family. I don't want these other strangers. This is my family. Bees don't allow other bees to come into their hive, even though that's a bee, and you ain't part of this family though. This is my family group. That's why a lot of animals act the way they were. And plus it's about territory and resources and trying to survive and try to live. So we understand that family is nothing really, it's a strategy to survive. You don't need family. But of course, as you know, if you have family, it makes things much easier on us. In 2022, you don't need family because I'll have millions of dollars. What I need family for? I can buy a cousin or uncle when I feel like it. I don't need family. Yeah, that's a fake family. So when we look at us as a people in this nation, one of the things that actually helped our ancestors to survive was their connection to family. That's what helped them survive. I'm surviving and I'm struggling because I don't want my children to be a slave. They thinking ahead. I'm living and I'm going to go through this and I'm going to do whatever I can to put my children in a better position than I am. And this began in slavery. Now, they denied our ancestors reading and writing. They denied our ancestors religion. But one thing they couldn't stop was our emotional, our being connected and wanting to be family. Matter of fact, that's probably one of the only things that really kept us going was our connection to another person, whether it be our biological children on the slave plantation or another slave. That's what kept us going, because you can talk to that other person. Man, Massa was tripping today, man. Eyes know. Massa came here. When that woman show up, he gets to acting crazy, yeah. So, and then a slave that's in the house might be able to get that extra biscuit for you when you have these connections. See, when you're alone, you just on your own, you can't do nothing. But when you have help and somebody in the master's quarters, when you have help, you can't pick that cotton sack and you know you'll get a whipping. Another slave will grab it. I'll help you, boy, so you don't get a whooping by the massa. This family thing was a way to help us to survive. And during slavery, family don't have to be biological, because as you know, we were being shipped from place to place. There's no guarantee your family gonna stay, your biological family is gonna stay together. So your son is shipped over here, your daughter shipped over there, your wife shipped over there. We keep talking about, or some of these people keep talking about, you know, you're Africans or you're Aboriginal. You don't even know you are biologically connected to your people, because we were shipped and flipped around all over the place. You don't even know if you biologically a part of who you claim that you are. You really don't know. Because what happens is, if a slave woman, her children were shipped off somewhere, she would adopt other children on the plantation as her own. They would grow up and view her as their mother. And that's the way it would be. That's your mama. And those other children would be forgotten. And you know, we still continue that behavior way after slavery. I had an uncle Jesse. They told me he was my uncle, Uncle Jesse. I had my Uncle Mac and Uncle Dave, Uncle Bartholomew. Then I had Uncle Jesse. Then somebody told me that's not your uncle. I said, what? Uncle Jesse was just a good family friend, been around for years. He grew up with everybody. He was just a good friend. And I was taught he was Uncle Jesse. And he had one arm. I think he was in the army or something. And he had one of his arm amputated. He had one of those fake arm prosthetic. And you know something, I really didn't care. He was still my Uncle Jesse. I don't care, big deal. I saw a commercial, a car commercial, and they was doing it. And the children was like, we're going to see so-and-so and so-and-so. They said, those not your people. And the children didn't trip off of it. That's what they was told. We're going to see so-and-so. But they're not biological. That's not your biological cousin. We still do that kind of stuff to this day. We adopt people who are close to us. That's my cousin. That's my uncle. Not even biological to you. We still do that to this day. We still have that kind of behavior. Just close friends of the family. But see, they family. It don't make any difference. And so when you talk about religion and we was talking about Jesus, I think Jesus was asked the same question. Jesus was asked, about his brothers and sisters. And he was like, my brothers and sisters, my family is those who believe in the Father. They have nothing to do with biology. In fact, most of us know that a lot of times people outside of our biology actually probably a lot of times better than the people that's actually supposed to carry your blood. We know that. So family doesn't have to do nothing with DNA. Now, when people talk about family and blood, a lot of times that's a vanity thing. Well, that boy's a Rogers. His granddaddy was a Rogers, and was a Rogers, and his son's gonna be a Rogers, passed down the family name. Which we know that these names that we have right now, they're not really our names. These was names that was forced on us as enslaved people. They're not really our names. But we need to get out of this vanity thing, because in nature does not give a damn about Rogers or Johnson or Akbar. Nature only cares, are you going to live or are you going to die? That's the only thing nature cares about. Don't care about, that's a vanity thing. Because I guarantee you, there's a lot of names that have been on the earth. It's gone, extinct. Don't hear about them no more. Especially when one people conquer another. The people, the species, the people will still exist, but that name is gone because the conqueror don't like it. We don't use that here. Not in our tribe. We don't do that here. So we conquered the Rogers family, and now you're Snupnup. Your last name is Snupnup now, Denzel. Denzel Snupnup. My family conquered your family, and you're Denzel Snupnup. That's how, and this has been going on for generations and generations. And we, Black people, soul brothers and sisters, we are so connected, and family is such a survival tool for us. I remember too, back in the day when I was growing up, our families were stronger. If you jump on one in the house, you got to jump on the whole family. You roll up, you better come out here, Denzel. Come on out here. You better come out here. And then you come out. Yeah, come on. I got something for you. Then here come all these, your 10 brothers and 6 sisters and the dog, and like, what the hell is all this? Now the family don't even know what's going on. You might be in the wrong. They're going to have to deal with that later. We got a family member under siege. We used to be like that back in the day. In our communities, we was more family. I don't have no sugar at the house. Somebody here that you don't have no sugar in the house? Well, I don't have a lot, but I got some sugar for you. Here you go. Make that cake. Feed them children. That's the way we used to do a little bit back in the day. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that Black people holy and righteous and we just so good to each other. That ain't never the fact. But there was a time where we did better than what we're doing now. We're so materialistic and greedy and selfish now. It's just family don't mean nothing no more. It's about me, what I want. What can you do for me? What I got. That's what it's about. It's so selfish. But you know, family meant a lot to us, and we saw ourselves as family. I don't know about other people on the earth, but I know here in America, among us, we started calling each other brothers and sisters. Brothers and sisters. A brother and sister, that's family. That's part of family. We see a family connection. Where did we go wrong? What happened that broke up that connection where we saw value and love for another person like ourselves? Well, of course, some people would say integration. If it wasn't for Dr. King and that integration stuff, that's what happened to us. And they took the man out of the household with that welfare. That's what happened. If you connected like that, those things couldn't affect you. You was like that anyway. When the floodgates opened for integration, if that's how the people was, they would have just stayed where they was at, but they didn't, because they always wanted to come out of there. They was given a chance. The only thing that stopped them was Jim Crow. The only thing that stopped them was these laws to separate. Dr. King didn't have nothing to do with that. The intent of the civil rights movement was for simply justice. That's all they wanted to. But of course, your enemies took it and flipped it around, and they saw the advantages in opening up instead of having separate but equal, because separate but equal makes you more independent. But integration now makes you dependent. And you don't even understand or comprehend how important it is to do as much for yourself as possible. You can't even understand that. So these folks go ahead. That's why we blow our money, and we don't care too much about nothing. And even the Black Power folks talk all that crap. We just talking about water. Don't worry, somebody else gonna handle the water for us. They got to worry about that. Why you're not talking about it? But it's about survival. And I want to say this in my conclusion. One of the best examples in the natural world that I can see, and it's even talked about in the Quran. This insect is given a whole chapter in the Quran. The chapter called the bee. I think it's chapter 52, I believe. It was one of my favorite chapters, the bee. Because bees get down. Bees live in a society. There's no money. Everybody is equal. When the bee comes out of the cone or whatever it's called, they just find their place and get to working. We can actually have a society where we don't need no money. What you need money for? We can live in a society where whatever we produce, everybody can have. You want TVs? We produce TVs, everybody have a TV. We eat corn, produce corn, everybody get the corn. But no, my corn is organic. It costs more, and the average person can't afford it. We love class. I know I can't live around those people because I'm better. See, my family is taller. See, that family over there is short. I want to be around tall people. We all caught up in all this foolishness. But again, the key in nature is, why did animal life begin to adopt the strategy of family? To survive. So if the Black man and woman, soul brothers and sisters in this nation, if you're not surviving too well, maybe it's because you have not adapted the strategy of family. When you begin to adapt the strategy of family, I can guarantee your whole life, your whole existence would begin to change overnight for the better. Because these little groups all divided up, the way we're doing now, it's not never going to go nowhere. I don't care how good you can talk. I don't care how many businesses you do. If we as a people don't become a people, if we don't become a family, ain't nothing coming. So those who are family will easily take us out. And that's what we've been seeing throughout the year. Pretty soon you're going to have Ukrainians going to be taking us out. Because they see themselves as family. They see their connection. They are solidified in themselves. But I'm not mad at you. What's that Tupac said? I'm not mad at you. I'm not mad at you because I understand that we're coming from a slave mindset. And we don't understand these things. And those who do understand, you're so selfish. It's about what you want. Look at those people in Ukraine right now. You think all of them really like each other, whatever, before the war, whatever? That's not, this is family. Russia is attacking my family. This is my nation. So Billy Bob and Junior in Ukraine, even though they didn't like each other, they come together because my nation, my family is under attack. And that's the way we should be. That's the way we should be. And look at them. Now, I don't know how this war is going to turn out, but Russia did not go into Ukraine, like pow, and that's the end of the war. Those people are putting up a fight. They putting up a real fight. Now, of course, when you put out the media, you're going to try to make yourself better and greater than what you really are, but still, they've been duking it out with Russia, what, 2 months? It's going on 2 months now.
Really?
And that's the way, that's the way we should be. But we're not family. It's going to be easy to roll over us. Easy. Because we're not family. Negroes ain't about nothing. And that's why we're the #1 choice. #1 target for people, because they know Negroes don't do nothing. Oh, that's Denzel. Who cares? That Negro still owe me $20. I don't care nothing about what he owe me $20. We trip off petty things. And we trip off things that don't have nothing to do with us. Well, he married to a white woman. I don't care. What do they have to do with me? See, I'm looking at the future. Because if you put yourself and become family and you love your family, as time goes on, the children only going to want to love them. They're only going to want to love themselves. That's in our time because we're all messed up. But in the future, when you show your people love and that black woman begin to love that black man and vice versa, they're not going to be thinking about nobody else. So you don't have to worry about that. It will still happen, very rare, but it's not going to be like it is right now. Because you fall in love with each other. You work as a family, you work as a team. Like this Operation Exodus Mississippi campaign. If we worked on this as a team, just the fact that we're doing it, this is the goal. This is what we want to accomplish. This is what we want to do. You don't have to like me, I don't have to like you, but I want to do this because I know it's good for us. Just the fact that we're working together to try to accomplish this goal, you'll see that we get closer and closer together. You'll be like, damn. Talib and Denzel ain't bad as I thought they were. I was getting ready to push them off that bridge. So it is important. It is important. And we talk about the single black mother. When we become family, you'll begin to see less and less of that. The single black mother. You begin to see less and less of that as you become family. But right now, we're not family, so it is what it is. And I'm not going to degrade and make mockery of a single mother because there's a lot of single mothers who have raised by themselves and struggled and done a wonderful job with a lot of these children. You notice they never talk about the single fathers. There's fathers out there too. Never talk about the fathers. There's a lot of, so you try to, if a woman cannot raise the children properly by herself, I assume the man can't either. What make him so special? He can raise his children because he got a ding-a-ling. Well, you see, my ding-a-ling gives me more knowledge than the woman, and the mitochondria DNA gives us a, you know, they always have all these scientific excuses. I'm done. I'm going to pass the mic over to Brother Denzel, and then Brother Denzel is going to pass the mic over to Brother Taalik.
Angel, stand up. You can let Taalik go. I like to hear the older people go first. You know, let them talk.
Okay.
I respect you.
Oh, age before beauty, right?
No, no, it's just respect your elders, right? That's what I'm saying.
First of all, let me kind of piggyback off of what Brother Snup said about the Ukrainians. And I know those of you in the pro-black conscious community, and within that, you know, frame of thinking, whatever you call yourselves, regardless, is going to probably say this nigga is crazy. But I really don't give a damn.
Mm-hmm.
Because the Ukrainians not only is going to come over here in America and take us out probably if we don't get our situation right as people in this country, but they are actually, even whether they know it or not, they're actually saving the world from destruction. Because if they don't kick Russia's ass, Russia might start flying missiles from all angles. And Russia already got a mentality going way back to when they were called the Soviets. When it comes to them protecting their land and interests as a nation, they willing to fly missiles from all angles. Use every, you know, thing they got at their disposal to make a point. And so, with the way things is turning now, as we know, or those of us that know about this war that's going on between the Ukraine and Russia, well, the Ukraine is kicking their ass. So long as they kicking their ass, that, you know, minimize chances of life ending as we know it on this planet Earth. And with that said, I have to give them on that note credit to where it's due. Because we are all, one way or another, connected to this situation. Bar none. We all connected to the situation, whether we want to accept it or not. So those of you out there in the pro-black conscious community talking that crap about women, that's the white folks' business. That's their thing. Let them do what they do. No. We a part of this too. All humanity around the face of this earth. Now, moving along to what I want to say regarding this topic this evening. Yes, you know, family is very important. But, you know, and in the way that the brother summed it up pretty much, I'm just going to just, you know, add on to it, you know. But the thing about it is that I have to say that we as a family, so-called black family, individual families in this country are definitely so disunited to the point that we can't really even call ourselves families. Mm-hmm. And then what also brings in even more division is that you got those among us as soul people that say, well, my family is better than yours because we we smile at each other's faces all the time or get along? Well, you know, I used to try to tell a soul brother a few years ago, like, look, you know, maybe your family is getting along. It may seem like they're getting along, but every soul black family in this country is affected some kind of way by the after effects of slavery. And whether you see it up close or you see it at a distance, it's there. So no, none of us come from perfect families. Yes, some of our families might be well off financially or economically than others to an extent. And some of us may have more, you know, social gathering intact going than certain other families. But all soul black families in this country is messed up deeply. As a matter of fact, that family that seems to be more better off than a family that fight and kill each other all the time. Let somebody die and leave $10 million behind, and watch and see how true colors start sparkling. Okay? Even though my family wasn't close, but I didn't know that they were more farther apart until some circumstances came about. Even like when my mother, may she rest in peace, died. Like when a grandmother on my paternal side died years ago when I was a kid, you know? So, you know, as time went on and as I began to grow and understand, even from my own personal experience, why we are divided as families is because of materialism. Because you think you better than I, you know, or because even though your mother or your parent raised you right to the best of their ability, and you still didn't show them how much you appreciate it by still running over them or, you know, abandoning them, you know, but they were the ones that reared you to make sure that you were in a better position than they were in life, you see. So we grow to forget those things. We grow not to care, even. You know? Well, that was my mother. That was my father. I'm a different person. So we could use that as an excuse to justify our, you know, indiscriminatorial behavior toward each other. You know? Or belligerent behavior toward each other. And this is what we get as a result when it comes to the broken family. You know, it's been said numerous times where over the years I've listened to people talk about how they own children who came from them, who came from the same womb, were killing each other over drugs, or over drug deals gone bad, and all this type of stuff. You got relatives in gangs from among our community, which is really not a community, but which is a ghetto, fighting against each other, whether they know they relatives or not, but actually are killing each other I'm talking about biological relatives, gang set tripping, killing each other. Because they from a different hood, because they from a different gang set tripping, like they call it. Yeah, this is going on among us, and it's been going on among us for generations. See, crack cocaine, when that came through in the 80s and 90s, that only saturated that situation, made it more prevalently obvious, you see. But it was going on for generations. This is why you got brothers in LA still throwing up crook and blood signs at 70 years old. This is why you got brothers in Chicago in their 60s and 70s, or even 80s, throwing up GD signs, or gangster, or vice lord signs, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And this is happening all over, not just in them places, but all over the country. All this tribalism going on. And this has a lot to do with the disunity among even us as being biologically related to each other. You know, I personally know a relative who's in the pro-black conscious community, part of that so-called conscious community dogma, who will actually let somebody who's not even related to us do harm to me and would stand by and won't say nothing nor do anything about it. And that is also in other cases that generally goes on among black people in this country. You see your cousin, or even your sister, your brother getting jumped on by somebody. You will run and go the other way. You won't even stop and call the police, at least. You'll go the other way or walk the other way like you don't see nothing. Oh, well, that's that nigga's business. He shouldn't be caught up out there anyway or whatever, you know? Yeah, this is the type of mentality that exists among us. Well, I hate that nigga anyway. I wish we wasn't even, we didn't even have the same mother and father, so F him or her. Yeah, this is the mentality that's going on among us as black families, you know. And if you tell somebody that, it'll be hard for them to believe or recognize because it hasn't personally happened to them. Well, just keep living, because it's chances that it can possibly happen to you, because these are the type of people that we're biologically related to, whether it's close or distant relatives. You know, because of the breakup of my family, I found out years later that we still got people in Arkansas where one of my grandparents came from. We got people that were state senators, like politicians, like state senators and mayors in states and cities in the South. And I just found this out today, talking to a relative. I don't have all the information properly gathered right now at this time, because they didn't have that information gathered all together in the right way. But this is what I'm being told. I'm being told I got someone famous in my family that's into the entertainment acting business. All this because families were not united or sociable. We didn't have family reunions like he said back in the 30s and 40s. And had that been done, we wouldn't have this issue right now, being disconnected, you see. So, you know, it's sad. It really is sad. You know, because your great-grandfather had a daughter or a son, and then people years later come to find out that they related to your grandparents or your grand-aunties that you already knew. And now you got a person over here that got a whole big family over there, and we don't even know they are relatives, see?
Mm-hmm.
All because of the breakup of the family. And when a lot of our people left the South coming north, like my grandparents did, to go to Michigan, where they had all the factory jobs at and stuff, you know, we didn't continue to stay in contact with those relatives in the South. So that's another issue. And I strongly believe that that's the reason why it's still a big divide between black people from the North and from the South.
Mm-hmm.
Or bi-coastal, period, you know, because of that type of situation going on, you know. And so, I mean, you know, we have it's a lot of issue. And even when I try to bring it up with certain relatives, it's like they say they might interact or engage in a conversation, but at the same time you can see it and they hear it in their voice like they really don't want to. Because when it comes to the truth, that means you got to want to reconnect. And that takes time, money, even, you know, by tracing back your family roots and this and that, you know, and you don't got time for that. So you don't want to really work toward really building no bridges. I hear these black people, especially in the pro-black conscious community, always talking about, well, we got to start building the black family back. Oh, really? If y'all was really that interested in building bridges or trying to reconnect bridges with your family, you know you have to work more harder to do it. So that's a bunch of bull doodle. You're not really interested in trying to build gaps or bridge gaps back together as far as black families go, like you say you do. You're just talking. Because if that was the case, we would see a lot of black people unite in this country. Like they always told me in the conscious community when I was under that frame of type of way of thinking, you know, that unity always started at home with the family first. So, obviously, if that's the case, then why are these families still broken? And because the family is broken, is why it's hard for people to get along with people that are not biologically related. It's a connection to that. I know y'all, and I'm not trying to sound spiritual. I'm not trying to sound divine, you know, analytical about it. I'm just speaking facts. If you come from a broken home, it's going to reflect in your relations with other people. It's just that simple. Now, you may move along and form relationships with other people and have better relationships with other people outside of your biological family, but it don't start off that way, is what I'm saying. When you grow to start dealing with people outside of your family home structure, it don't start off that way unless you change. You see. and start forming different, families. Because like someone said, just like they say, just because you're from a certain geographical location don't mean that's your home. Wherever you go is your home. And also, I was told wherever you go, there go your family.
Mm.
So, I don't, all that stuff about, well, you got to go back to where your family at. No, my family is wherever I'm at on the planet Earth. And that's the bottom line to that. Especially when I don't got no life back home, wherever I may have came from, or wherever my origins began in this life.
Mm-hmm.
See, so that's a myth that's also kept so many families, discombobulated and divided amongst each other. And this is the thing I hear people say, where you should go back and reconnect with your family. Yeah, in ways I've tried to do that. In ways it's worked, in ways it definitely hasn't worked. Even in my personal case, okay, you can't reconnect back with everybody. And that even go for biological family. But then you got those people, when you try to relate that same thing to them, they still persist on saying, well, we're still your family. No, that's not true either. It's a difference, like someone used to tell me. It's a difference between family and biological relatives. So that's a big difference. Your family, even if they ain't biologically related to you, your family could be your family for real. Out there, put themselves out there on Front Street and be willing to die with you.
Mm-hmm.
You willing to do whatever it takes to serve each other well-being, well as life. And they ain't got to even have 1 ounce of DNA connecting you both as being related. But there are a lot of biological relatives where on the opposite side, that's not the case. Like I was saying. And me, as being a person who's traveled around North America, I've actually been encountered situations where people actually left me their whole entire basement in their houses, didn't know me. Left me to a whole basement by myself, left me to a whole bedroom by myself. Didn't know me. Slept over in the same house, everything. Didn't know if I was a mass murderer or a rapist, didn't know me. Didn't even know me for a week or a month.
Mm-hmm.
Just met me, took me off the streets. It's people in my family who won't do that. And I know that for a fact. It's people I know in my family won't even let me in their house, period. Won't let no one related to them in their house. And this person is supposed to be a Christian or so-called child of God or whatever they call that religion, Yeah. So, I mean, this is the type of stuff I'm talking about. When you talk about family, that's a powerful statement that you got to know what you mean when you say that. You just can't just say that recklessly. And the thing about it is that, this is the reason why, as an individual, I've been able to learn more how to be content with the less people I deal with or come in contact with through association. Because the way things is right now, it's not even good to try to make a whole lot of friends, let alone talking about reconnecting back with a bunch of family members that got grudges, resentment, hatred, don't like you because of this, judge you, despise you, all type of crazy stuff, you know? And like I heard Brother Taalik saying, basically, you know, the reason why we don't have no unity is because it's about what you got from me. What can I benefit tangibly from you? And like I said, I saw this pride toward and after my own mother's death, may she rest in peace. And that situation alone opened up my eyes to really see that biological relatives, in fact, are necessarily family. It's just a connection, biological. That's what it means. Biological means DNA connection. Family means those that love you, care about you, treat you equally as they want to be treated, treat you equally as they treat any other person in that family. And like I said, it ain't got to have nothing to do with you being biologically kin to anyone. You go back even to civilizations way before ours, that same situation applied. Even the tribes in Africa, even the tribes in Asia or other parts of the world, South America, with biological relatives, but were killing each other, still killing each other. Like the Tutsi tribe, the Hutu tribe, in the nation of Rwanda, over in the continent of Africa. Hundreds of thousands of them died in the tribal war. But there were Hutus, I'm sure, and Tutsis that were biologically related to each other through marriage in some kind of way, I'm pretty sure. Because that's just how things go. You just don't stay a part of the same tribe. That's why when people get them fake ass DNA results back, talking about, well, I'm Nigerian, I'm Ghanaian, I'm Cameroonian, I'm Togoan, I'm Burundi, I'm South African. Well, you got to understand that also comes along with other tribes. See, because those other tribes mix with each other too. See, even though they may have been enemy tribes. Think about tribes when they conquer each other. The first prize they go for is their women, right? There you go. Now she done mixed into that tribe, and the conqueror done mixed into her tribe. You see what I'm saying?
Right. So, I mean, this thing, like I say, this thing with family, and even this applies to us as descendants of slaves here in America, because we came from different people. Yeah.
We came from different tribes. And that wasn't even from over there in the continent of Africa, see? But because of this situation, how we ended up becoming biologically related to each other, or so-called tribally related to each other, was through slavery. by force.
Exactly.
You see, so our case is unique because we're still, connected to slavery, 1,000%. Yesterday I went to the library. Let me show you how this nation looks at us. I went to the library. This library I used to go to on a regular basis. I went to check back in some stuff that I had read out the library. And for some reason, I wasn't planning to go to the top floor of that library, but I did, to just go and look into the section where they had Black history books at all the time. And they used to lay African American section. I didn't see African American up there. You know what I saw? I saw civil rights and slavery. If it was anything related to us, that's what it said. And then when I went down and looked at the other on the side of the other aisles where they had different books at related to people's history and culture, I seen European history. I even seen African geography, which has nothing to do with us as so-called Negroes here in America, or African countries, Central America, Mexican history. They even had history as far as Asians, saying Asian history. I didn't see nothing related to African American. And they used to have, and if you used to go to the library, you see on the end of the books where they would have the black and green and red emblem that we got from that flag that Marcus Garvey presented to us over 100 years ago. And you would see they had over that, it used to say African American.
Mm-hmm.
Where they didn't have that when I went back up in there. And it's one of the most recent times I've been going to that library since I even started going there in a long time. See, so this shows you how much we really mean to this nation and society as a whole, as a people. When it comes to anything dealing with us, domesticatedly, all we are looked at in terms of civil rights or being slaves. They don't even call us African American. They get to the point now, well, we're so confused, so they don't know what to call us because we're too confused of who we are anyway. But, that's just as when it comes to us, that's what we're associated with. And and see, if we had more unity as families, we wouldn't have this problem. We wouldn't even be having this discussion. And another thing too is that I want to mention is that we were broken up as families in slavery. Yes, we were. And that's another reason why we don't even know who he is. That's why we're walking down the streets, or the street corner, or sidewalk, looking at each other crazy, driving by, looking at each other crazy or whatever, talking to each other crazy, and don't even know we could be biologically related. Not necessarily family, once again, but we could be biologically related and don't even know that.
Exactly.
And who knows how many times this has happened across America. Somebody got shot or lost their life because somebody glanced at them. Well, that could have been your long-distance relative from slavery that you just killed and possibly caught a case over in prison during the life sentence over. You see? We don't care. We have gotten to the point, we've gotten so far away to the point where we don't even care truthfully about any type of connection. Let it be whether it be family connection, whether it even be just relative connection by itself. We don't care. Because all we see is another nigger word. Just the way the Peckerwood view us, that's what we see. This is what this has become. You know, and to tell you the truth, if they put weapons, the kind of military weapons in our hand that they put in them Africans' hands over there on the continent, like those people in the Congo and Rwanda, and play in other different parts of the continent where they be warring at with each other, like Liberia and stuff, they wiped out already as a population in this country. We'd probably wipe each other out quicker than they wipe each other out over there. Because that's how deep our hatred is with each other. We don't never take that into account and think about that. So, I mean, you know, this is the situation that we are in. This is how deeply the hate is. You know, this is how deep the hate is among us. We really don't have time to even judge other people. We don't even have time to judge and talk about Caucasians. Because our hatred is so deep for each other, whereas hey, we better not even open our mouth and say, even if we open our mouth and say something considered respectable, we might get cussed out or get a bullet put in us. I might say, excuse me, for bumping into somebody and still get my head blew off. This is the type of mentality we have amongst each other. So when you talk about family, that's a crisis in itself that we haven't really addressed. Matter of fact, you know, I want to say this. Until we could address how we treat each other as a family, even if we are biologically connected to each other through blood kinship, you know, if we're going to ever become liberated, that's going to be the first thing we're going to have to address. It'll be more easier if we could collectively come together. We can be able to do that on a more easy basis. But in order for us to even be able to stay in control, we're going to have to address that family issue thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be one of the very first things we're going to have to address. I'll put it that way. We need to, you know, matter of fact, we can't wait to address that. We have to take control of the state to put us in a position to be able to address that more efficiently. But that's going to, once we do take control of the state, that's something we're going to have to address. One of the very first things off the bat we're going to have to address. Because family disconnection, whether it's on a biological, relational basis, or just on a general basis when it comes to community basis, or looking at the situation, we're going to have to really address that.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to have to. We can't go no further until we address that. Because if we don't address that, then anything else, when it comes to talk about us being beneficially in a better position as a people, it's just going to go out the window. This is why our children, our grandchildren, our nieces, our grandnephews, our nieces and nephews don't respect us. It's someone in my family, that I am biologically connected to. One of the last times I talked to her, I FaceTimed her recently, just to have a conversation with her. I'm not going to go all into it. It's not necessary, but she straight up called me Unc. At first she was calling me Uncle, then she called me Unc. I'm her elder, and she calling me that. See?
Mm-hmm.
You know where that come from? That come from the dysfunctional home. That come from her and her mother, her biological mother, not being able to functionally get along with each other. So she disrespects any elder in the family she comes across, or just talk to. You see? So this is what's happening. And this is another thing too I want to say. Oh, and being that I brought that up, I want to also say, anytime you smoke drugs with your own child, all respect go out the window. I don't care if it's weed, crack cocaine, heroin, even if you drink with your child. That's a drug. Alcohol is whether we know it or not. But when anytime you engage with stuff like that with your own offspring, especially when they're at that younger age, all respect go out the window. They would never respect you. See, so this is another thing that has divided the family up so much. Let alone witnessing your parents. It's one thing to witness your parents doing dope, but when you actually are engaging with them, getting high, all respect go out the window. See, if you see them, you can still form some type of kind of relationship with them that will go beyond being a toxic relationship, but that can never happen when you are known to actually do drugs with your parent, or the parent doing drugs with that child. It's going to have to take a lot of impossibilities for that relationship to become more than toxic. That's just something you don't do. And I notice this younger generation is doing that. And you wonder why the younger generation don't respect us. And then they look not only at the parent, but they start looking at the grandparent. They start looking at the great-grandparent. See, y'all think that it just stopped at the parent. No. When they see the parent is out of order, then they treat the grandparent with the same situation. Because the first thing they gonna think was her parent doing the same thing with her, or what rules they doing with her to make her want to engage with me like this, and I'm a child. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, it's a generational thing passed down from one to another. You see? So this is not no game. We are in a very serious situation, whether we know it or not. We are very divided. You have family members living cross country from each other, thousands of miles away, won't even call each other to check on to see who done died. They probably don't even know certain relatives that died. You know what I'm saying? You know? As a matter of fact, I didn't know my step-grandfather had passed away for years because of my disconnect before I started back communicating with certain family. And these certain family members, I decided to let it remain back to being disconnected because, see, you can't, like I said before, you can't reconnect with everybody. If they're not going to treat you equally, regardless if they're biologically related to you or not, if they're not going to treat you with respect, if you want to be treated or if you would treat them, or if they're not going to treat you with this so-called spirit, as they say, but with the spirit of love, then what is the use in you communicating? It's no need for communication. You know, if you're gonna act funny style, while the other person trying to, you know, engage you with love, kindness, but you gonna act evil and vicious, then what's the use of the communication? See, so that's why I say we all cannot reconnect with certain family. There might be issues where you might be mad because your brother killed your mother and your father, or your parent killed one of your siblings. You see what I'm saying? Over a drink of beer or a drink of whiskey or getting high together. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. See, we don't go internally into that type of stuff because we just want to touch on the surface. See, all that surface stuff ain't getting us nowhere. Yeah, we know we got to start uniting as a people. We got to start coming back together as one would say as families and this and that. You know, but that surface stuff. Let's go into the detail. Get into the nitty-gritty detail about it. See, until we could do that, I don't see no such thing as black families reconnecting on a positive level. And I know many of you going to say, oh, you sound negative, Aleeyah. Yeah, well, the truth is the truth. Okay. The truth ain't always pretty. Remember that, right? Like they always say, right? So, I mean, you know, that's just what it is, family. And or those of you that want to be family. But that's just what it is. And I'm not going to hold the mic up. I want to let other people have a chance to talk. And even if our brother Denzel want to talk, or if Taalik want to say some more, I will rest my mic. And thanks for hearing me speak these important words to y'all on this topic. And peace.
All righty then.
That was good.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Taalik. Well, it's the mic is on you, brother Denzel. If you want to give a few words.
Okay, I'll make it short.
You can take your time, brother. Take your time.
I respect what Aleeyah was saying and Angel Snuff 7. And you know, You wanna know it's kind of crazy though. I've been thinking about that topic for like this whole like last week, and it's crazy. I know I keep bringing up Chief X because he was
Yeah.
having he was saying something about how black families need to take care of of each other individually, and I never agreed with that. You see, like
Mm-hmm.
piggybacking off of what y'all said, like I come from a single mother household, so I know that whole experience
Yes,
firsthand.
sir.
And my mother and even my aunt, they like over the past years, they even took care of other people's children, let them stay in their house for years and everything. So I know like how far family goes, and I never agreed with that. Even Pharaoh Pharaoh said that was even talking about that. It's kind of crazy, he say a lot of pseudo things, but it's kind of interesting, like how you, Angel Snuffnup, and him have similar ideas, and y'all just it's just kind of crazy. And I do think, like I think black people have become so entitled and so embroiled into that. Like I know, like a lot of conservatives, black people, they say, you should help yourself. You shouldn't say brother. You're not my brother.
Right.
And I know certain liberals, and I know personally, like my landlord, she a Muslim, but I can't spend the night over her house. And I know like Hispanics, they there was a Hispanic mother. Well, my bad. I have an Hispanic friend, and his mother always treated me as I was one of them. She let me spend the night over her house. She took care of me, fed me. She did what she could. Whenever my aunt or my mother wanted her to, like when I was younger, they needed like her to watch me because they was going somewhere, I would go to her house. So I understand the idea, like how family, like how far it goes. And I do think that a lot of black people don't understand that, because like I said, it's even with myself, I try to like it's something that you said, Taalik, want for others what you want for yourself.
Yes,
And
sir.
I love that statement. I keep thinking about it like every day, I really want to help my other friend, get out of prison. I just don't have, the money. But I decided I found out some information about him, and I'm gonna have to probably mail to him and see how he doing, if I can, or if he can get back to me. But I always, like my friends, like even my family, I always try to like stay in touch with them, and you know, give them things, because I understand that whole idea of family, and I understand that if some people want to be like to themselves, I get that too. It's it can be hard sometimes for some people, but sometimes you just have to let people be amongst themselves. Every night, like Talib said, not everybody is gonna want to be family. Some people just like to be amongst themselves, and
Yes.
it's I think that's the part that comes with unity, is like realizing, like, if everybody was treat each other like family, then we probably have better structure. But some people say, it starts in your household too, and I don't know, because certain people it's hard for like certain families like to get along. Sometimes it just can't happen, and that's why some people end up like, sons, daughters, they end up going to somebody else's family, and they mothers end up raising them. So I think it's me personally, I think it's like, I do that that should be more addressed more, but I think it's too much tribalistic, it's too much tribalism, and it's just stopping everything, you know. And I don't know, Taalik. Taalik, I may disagree with you on something when it comes to like, well, I don't. It's not that I disagree. I thought about it. You know, like how you say if somebody date outside their race, right? Well, I'm not dating nobody at the moment, but you know, like if somebody, you know, like let's say they date an Hispanic or an Asian or somebody like that, you know, if family goes that far, maybe that person that they fall in love with, maybe they may share. Now, you can also find this in your own culture, your own ethnic background. They may share similarities with that person, you know, like, you know, like let's say, for instance, somebody car breakdown, you know, if you really love that person, but, you know, or just, you know, how certain love stories may start like that, you know, somebody car breakdown and you may like pitch in to, you know, help get the car fixed. And, you know, like, I think like that's sometimes how, you know, I think family go, you know, sometimes it goes farther than, you know, even that. I think that's one reason why some people date outside their race sometimes. I mean, I don't know. Sometimes when I get into those conversations, I'll be on the fence about it, you know, because I think for cultural reasons, I think Black people should, you know, date amongst their own to preserve culture, you know, and to keep passing that on for generations and generations. However, I'm not against people dating outside their own race either, if they feel, you know, that's what they want, you know. I'm for both. But I understand that there should be more of a structure to the, you know, the Black man and the Black woman. You know, it can be hard. I mean, I think that's why a lot of me personally, I think that's why a lot of people, you know, some people turn to criminal activity sometimes because they may have, like you said, like Taalik said, they grew up in a household where that was like always around them. You know, and they may have felt like they were nothing. Now, I don't think that's a reason to go out and shoot somebody. But, you know, I think Taalik, I think some people's, I keep y'all names so similar, so I get them confused sometimes.
Well,
but
just
I
let
think
me be Angel Snub. No, you don't have to get it. You don't have to worry about it.
You're right. You're right.
Yeah.
But I think some people turn to, you know, criminals because, you know, it be a certain altercation. You know, I was on the train. Some days I don't drive, so I take the train sometimes. And I was on the train. I was talking to this brother. He was an older guy, and he was telling me something. But he was loud. You know, a lot of loud people on the train. But he was telling me something. You know, like when he was like in the street life. You know, they used to be a park that they used to go to, and you know, it gotten so bad to the point that people who know each other, because you know how, you know, Black people are certain areas is poor, so you know they may know you, but you know they may treat you like family, but you know they may see something that you got, like if you got $100, they may stick you up for it. You know, they may tell you like, you know, you my guy, but you know I'm struggling, man. And you got 100, and I need it, so I just stick you up for it. I think that's just how like things start. You know, it just certain. I guess it is like Taalik was saying, and I mean, certain material things can, you know, change, or a certain argument can change somebody's life. It can make them like a villain or make them distant from people, and it's, you know, sometimes it's just a tough pill to swallow. But you know, sometimes you just gotta admit the truth. Some Black people will never get along with each other. I mean,
nope.
You know, I mean that's just the tribalistic thing that, you know, that really concerns me. But there is something else, Angel Snugden up into Aleeyah, that really, that I'm really kind of afraid of. I know you said about the you know, climate change. I know that's a big issue.
Yeah.
I know that that really is. I've been following that ever since I, like, for years, and I know like it's becoming a problem because you now you have animal species coming over to the U.S. You know, I guess because they migrate, and some of these are very dangerous. And you know, even the I just read a paper about well, it was an article about you know, plastics in your DNA now.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the, you know, that I kind of thought about, like, okay, that's kind of scary. But you know, but despite that, what I'm really afraid of, I think that this tribalism thing in the Black community is going to really get to the point that somebody's going to get hurt, somebody's going to be killed, because it's only a matter of time before one of these people from ADOS, or, you know, you got the conservatives, liberals, you got, you know, like all these Aboriginal, all these groups, they get into it with one of these gang members, and something is going to happen, and some of them may be gang members themselves, and something is going to end up happening to where, you know, like, I just think that that stuff is just going to start turning into death, and people just going to start going quiet. Leaders going to start going quiet. 'Cause, you know, once you get into it with one of them, it's like, especially the shooters, it's like it's an internal thing, because then it's gonna start spreading, because then you're gonna have other gang members that's gonna start saying, yeah, we don't like them. And you know, now I know what they be saying out there now. Well, I'm young, I know they say you an op. It's like, I don't know if you heard of that, age, but they say you an op. I think that's like street terms for opposition. So I mean, I think a lot of these conscious groups gonna start being ops to, you know, gangs, and when somebody gets shot, that's it. ain't no turning back. And I don't want that to happen. I do want unity, but I think it's just people are just too tribalistic, man. And I guess people don't realize they can't get outside of their way, and they don't realize the bigger picture. They just live in that little small little bubble, and it's so hard for them, like, to realize, like, hey, you know what? You know, we ain't got to like each other, but we gotta, like I said, we gotta go in one direction, not one ideology. But you know, it's just never. I wish it was the other way. You know, I wish, you know, I want the Mississippi campaign to go far. You know, and I want it to, you know, achieve and be a foundation for which, you know, Black people and all people, you know, can benefit from. But, you know, from the way I'm looking now, you know, I don't even think Black people are like, you know, and Angel Snugden, I've actually seen it. Like, man, look, where I work at, man, I've seen the unification of Hispanics. I seen it firsthand. Like, man, you wouldn't even believe how they got their neighborhoods. Man, these mods, they got company trucks with their logos on it and stuff. And I see their trucks every day on the highway. I'll be like, man, why ain't we doing that? I mean, why? You know, and I'm not one of the persons say, you know, you got to do it yourself. But, you know, it takes a team to do all that, and we not thinking about that, you know. And I know Hispanics personally, they all have their own ideologies, and, you know, they don't agree with each other, but they can work together. They can work together, and we can't. In every area, we just divided. Even in the family household, you know, man, I don't know. I have talked to certain Hispanics too. They have told me some stories about some gang members, you know, that were relatives and they end up shooting each other. So I mean, maybe there is, you know, certain similarities between us and them, but not always. I see it. So, and it's just something else. Taalik. I know 87. Sorry. It's something else I learned about, and it's my last thing, and then I'm just pass the mic over to you. It's something that if people, I know people ain't interested, but like I said, I was trying to be a paleontologist, and have you ever like most people, they have interest in dinosaurs, right? But a lot of people don't know where dinosaurs come from. Like, where did they evolve from? Now, there was some papers that came out recently of these dinosaur-like animals. They're called like dinosaur morphs. But the point of which I'm trying to get is that they play a key factor into the success of dinosaurs, like how they will begin to diversify. It was because of these small animals. It took 15 million years from dinosaurs to diverge and evolve from dinosaur morphs. Now, from what the scientists tell me, during the time of dinosaur morphs, their environments was harsh. Like it was the most terriblest time, drought, all kind of stuff. But I don't know if dinosaur morphs were like social animals, but there may have been like some that were. The one that gave rise, that was ancestral to dinosaurs, they probably were. They probably were omnivorous too. But the whole goal I'm trying to, I want people to take from this is that dinosaur morphs, like, they passed their genetics on to the next generation. Of course, they went extinct so dinosaurs could live on, but it took a long time. It took a lot of work, a lot of evolution, a lot of trial and error, and I'm pretty sure that dinosaurs ain't like us, they ain't gonna unify, but I'm pretty sure that I'm pretty sure that the ancestral dinosaurs, or the original ones, they were probably social. They probably existed in groups, because it meant they survival depended on that. Yeah. And a lot of people don't know this, but dinosaurs were living with their predecessors for like the dinosaur morphs for a few million years. But I mean, there was going to be a takeover. But in that short amount of time, I'm just saying that, it just took so much time and effort. And I think, Black people got to, like, they should take and observe from that. And if you knew, like, man, how successful dinosaurs were, like for 180 million years. So imagine how much, like, the world threw at them. It was tsunamis, tornadoes, diseases, everything. But the dinosaurs never went away. Of course, a media ended all that shit. But I'm just saying, all that came from these little small reptile-like animals with which they evolved from. And it took trial and error. It took a lot of things. And, I just think, people should learn from that, But that's all I got to say other than that. I'll pass the mic over to you, Angel Snub.
All right. Well, we're doing pretty well here. I guess I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up and give our closing statements. And the chat room really enjoys you, Denzel. I thank you very much, brother, for coming by, and also brother Taalik. I just want to make a few comments here very, very quickly. Based upon what you and Brother Taalik was saying. He was talking about the gang. And I simply want to say that for many people, especially those who come from dysfunctional families or caught up in the foster care system and things of this nature, you really don't have family. You just out here struggling, trying to make it on your own. And then you come out here and these people, when you meet these people, criminals are nice. When you first meet a lot of these different criminals and people in the drug gang, they're nice to you. Hey, little brother, come here, man. They'll break you off a little something, blah, 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 and give you some runs, and you get to feel that little money in your pocket or whatever, get you all caught up. But they give you, the reason why a gang is successful is because a gang is like a family. It's a real strict family. They don't play games. A lot of people that join gangs, you are initiated. You get your ass whooped really, really bad. You're going to have to prove, or they're going to give you an assignment. You got to do something to show that you are loyal to the family. So people are willing to do that. What I got to lose? I'm eating now. Look how I'm dressing now. It's like family to them. And some people get caught up. But why can't we be like the gang, except we're not trying to exploit you? We're not trying to get you into criminal life where you can end up in federal prison or you can end up in the morgue. Or you do something that you regret. So we're not like that. But that's again shows the importance of family. Gangs give many people that sense of belonging. It's a sense of belonging. So here we are in America, and you have people that talk about Africa, or they tell you that you're Aboriginal. My problem here is whether you feel as though we are connected to Africa or Aboriginal. My problem is you can't get along with your biological people from Tennessee, from Georgia, from Louisiana, from Texas. You don't get along with your own biological people that you know, that you was born, or some of you was born and raised with. So how you gonna tell me, oh, we got to go to Africa and love the Africans or be Aboriginal? You don't even love the people that you know, born in the United States, way before you was even thought about some Africa, way before you thought about some Native American, Aboriginal, whatever. Because see, they live in a delusional world, because those are people. The same reason why you don't like your mama, the same reason why you don't like your cousin, the same reason why those people can exhibit the same behaviors. Native Americans can steal. Native Americans lie. Africans lie. They steal, they rape, they rob, they cheat. Matter of fact, one of the most famous scams that we heard on lately is that Nigerian scam. They call and, how you doing that, Denzel? I got $100,000 for you. Send me 100, and and that's your brother. Then you find out that you got Nigerian DNA. Nigerian just ripped you for $500. You never see that $100,000. But they act like these people don't do. They don't take a piss. They are human beings. There's nothing different between them. You're gonna have the same kind of problems. What make you think because you go to Africa, all of a sudden you're in paradise? Those people aren't holy and righteous. And if you go over there, you might mess around and get your head chopped off. They don't play over there. It's according to where you go. They'll set you up for the kill. I had a video where these sisters bought this land or had some land over in Africa, and they killed them because those people said, this is not your land. It's ours. Where you come from? I saw a video where it was some African Americans in some kind of shopping place, and they was calling them, I forgot what the name, Akata or something like that. I forgot what the name is. And those people kept telling them, I'm African. They said, no, you Akata, meaning you white man. They was calling you a white man. We'll take your money, you a white man. But my thing is, how can you love people, foreign people that you never met in your life, and you can't get along with Angel Snub Number 7? You hear talking all this African American Africa stuff, and you can't even get along with me. And I live right here in America, which you speak the language, go to Kentucky Fried Chicken like you do, same stuff, and you can't get along with me, but you can go all the way 6,000 miles, whatever the hell it is, and all of a sudden it's lovey-dovey. That's not how life works. It's not how life works. Just like when you're dealing with women, you're going to deal with women. Some of them are going to be terrible. Some of them are going to be bad. I've had beautiful women in my life, and I messed up. I can admit I'm the one messed up. I messed around and let some good ones go. And then I messed around, of course, as you know, I got some terrible ones. You know, it's been a terrible ride ever since. But it's all gravy. I also want to talk about family, the husband and wife roles. I think that the husband and wife roles, that the way that we have it set up, or we're used to or accustomed to, I think that's a cool setup. Except the husband has to understand you don't run, your role ain't no better than the wife's. Just because you go out and get a job and whatever, that's your purpose. The purpose of the wife staying home with the children so she can nurture and watch and protect those children. You go out and do the labor. It's like when in the animal kingdom, some of the males go out and find food and bring it back to the nest. The mother bird stays on the nest and the father goes out. Or sometimes they take turns. He'll sit on the nest and she'll go out. But it's got to be an understanding here of the roles, and it has to be an understanding that one is not better than the other. Now, in our situation, these brothers, these men, they tell me about the role of men, but they can't live up to it. It's too high. It's a lot of responsibility to be the breadwinner, the provider, and the protector. That's a lot of responsibility. And that's why a lot of them can't handle it. They fall apart. They can't handle that. That's a lot of responsibility to be the breadwinner. And the way that we're so spoiled and conditioned, that what makes it even more terrible, because we're so comfortable. We're not used to hard times, you know, living. My grand uncle, his wife never worked. He sent all his children if they wanted to go. I don't think everybody went, but he worked. This man always had 2 or 3 jobs. His wife never worked, and all his children, the ones that wanted to go, they went to college. Never was on welfare. Never. Every time I saw him, work. And I'm like, why you work so hard like that? He said, do you know I got 9 children? He said, that's why. That's why. My grand uncle built his house. He put in electric. He did the mortar. He did the bricks. He did the plumbing. My uncle built his house. He didn't go out and buy a house like that. He built his house from the ground up. He had those kind of skills. We don't have no skills. We don't have no kind of skills at all. The only thing we got is our little dangling. Hey, well, that should be good enough. Swinging, dangling around, you know. And a woman, children, family needs more. We need family needs more than that, you know. And then we're not in a rush to go out and get a shotgun against an enemy, because them Ku Klux Klan members, them brothers should have got together or whatever. Hey, y'all, we ain't going for this. You want some ass? You got to bring some ass to get some. This is 2022. You want some ass? You got to bring ass to get some. Now you do know, but we do know that in the past, you know, that it was against the law for black people to own guns. It was against the law, so they couldn't fight back like that. But this is 2022. So, I mean, if you can't provide it, at least protect, brother, pick up. I mean, you do it in the gangs and everything else, whatever, you shoot each other. Can't we pop the enemy sometimes? You know, I'm just saying, I'm just asking a question here. But that's the role. We have to understand the family, we have to understand our roles. Just like in B society or any of these other societies, they understand their role, do what you gotta do, and everything will be cool. And you know, everything will take care of itself. And the last point I want to make, I'm gonna pass it to Aleeyah, is we was talking about interracial relationships. Now, there are some interracial relationships that person who you married to or whatever that's outside your race, they're going to draw you into their world. And it's all about them, basically. Like Serena Williams. Serena Williams is with a white man. She's lost. She's really lost in the white man's world. He's not telling her, you need to get with your people, learn about Africa or something. He's not doing that with Serena. You mine, you belong to me. But you have Caucasian people. Matter of fact, some Caucasian people was actually raised with black folks. And black people, all they know. But I'm not talking about that kind. I'm talking about you do have Caucasian people. When they love you and they're down with you, they'll throw down with you. There was a movie called Dances with Wolves. Had that soldier out in the middle of the wilderness. And he messed around and got to learn and know the Indian people out there, the Native Americans. And he fell in love with them. And he turned on the United States government. He stood with the Native Americans when he was supposed to be against them, because he learned and got to like them and learn their ways and understood their humanity and found out they wasn't what he was conditioned to believe and know. So, but that's very rare too. But you do have people like that. They will throw down with you. If you my friend, they'll throw down with you. One for all for one. They'll throw down with you. It's rare. Now, there's people say, he loved a white man. And that's the first thing these stupid Negro. Well, hell, I'm with you. What the hell did you do? Well, you flagged my channels. You slander me and gossip. That's what you do. That's what you have done. You stole my money, and the list goes on and on. And you're going to tell me about some white folks, what white people do. What about you? What about you? But I'm going to be friends with you. What the hell do you do? So I'm like Dr. King. I judge people by the content of their character, who they are. That's the way I'm going. Because clearly, just because a Negro, somebody got black skin like you, that don't mean a damn thing. We know that. Passing the mic over to Brother Taalik.
And with that said, brother, I concur. I would like to start off by closing out with saying that I concur and that, I just want to say that, I was looking at this video recently, and speaking that y'all have brought up, interracial relationships, I was going to say that today, I saw a video that was talking about how brothers are afraid to approach soul sisters. Mm-hmm. I'm talking about the considered beautiful looking kind or whatever, mm-hmm. And how they afraid in the streets to approach them. Like they don't approach them like we used to do when we came up from our generation, and because the mentality that the soul sister is developed, well, I'm independent, I can do without you, I don't need you, and this and that, right? Mm-hmm. And so now you got sisters complaining about, well, why they don't approach us. Well, that's what y'all wanted, right? Not to be approached. So there you go. And so what I'm saying too is that when brothers decide that, hey, look, I done had enough of this crap, I'm gonna go get me a Caucasian. I'm gonna go get me an Asian, or I'm gonna go to South America and get me a Brazilian.
Mm-hmm.
Or I'm gonna go over to the Philippines and get me one of them Filipinos. Or I'm gonna go to Jamaica and get me one of them. Or I'm gonna go over to Nigeria or Ghana and get me one of them sisters over there. You know, you can't get mad when you push the soul man away. When you tell him, well, he ain't nothing, he ain't got, you know, what have you done for me? You ain't got nothing I want. You know, you don't even got a pair of a decent socks on your feet. Nigga, get out my face. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's like you done pushed them away. So what choice do you leave him with? And for those brothers who ain't who don't choose to be dickly, well, they're gonna go to another race for female companionship. That's just how it goes. So you know, you can't blame a brother for that when you push him in that direction. When you say, well, if you approach me, all I gotta do is call a white man on you. Or you on what? You on paper? You on parole? Oh, okay. You do something they don't like? Oh, I call your PO and make up a lie. And you send right back to the penitentiary over a flat out lie. And they gonna believe her. Well, you're a criminal anyway. Man, send them back. You know, they don't investigate. They don't really ask questions when it comes to the woman's story. Oh, you on paper, you still a property of the state anyway. Get your ass back in there. You know? Yeah. So I mean, this is what's happening. And so I mean, you put your own fellow soul male kind in the position to do that. And I want to say this too. You know, and I know there are some of you, those of you who are going to disagree. But when you tell black soul people, first of all, that on the Mississippi campaign ain't going to work, or you try to convince them, or at least to listen, or to try it out, or anything that's going to lead us to true liberation for once and for all, the oppressor. And then that black person said, nah, I'm going to go to Africa, no, I'm going to go somewhere over to Asia, I'm going to go to the Caribbean or whatever. Get away from y'all niggas over here, right? And you say, well, why you going to go to another country? Your ancestors built this country. Okay, we understand all that. Well, our ancestors didn't benefit from building this country, so they left. Like the people that went to Liberia, they left them no reason to stay here. Well, today, you leaving a lot of brothers and sisters feeling like it's no reason to stay in America. But yet you gonna tell them, like you tell them they shouldn't go outside their race. You gonna tell them not to go to another country, but you don't give them no reason to why they should stay in America, other than to keep putting up with the fire they putting up with here. You see, that don't make no sense. And I'm not saying this because I'm defending people that want to leave the country and go other places, when we should be over here together, working together to carve out a better existence for ourselves here in America. But you leave black people with no choice. And that's, again, going back to what I was saying, the same thing applies. That when you tell a black man that you don't need him, that you don't want him, well, that same concept applies. So he say, nothing. I'm going to go get me I'm gonna go over here and get me a snow bunny, a pink snow bunny. And don't give a damn what you or anybody else say or think about it. You see what I'm saying? So this is what we at. And because we don't have love or care, understanding, or consideration to open our minds to that fact, is why our people gonna do whatever they got to do to survive.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's the only mode we living in. We not really living. We only living in survival mode. See,
Exactly.
You know, that's what you give them no other choice but to do that. So stop telling black people what they should. In other words, stop telling Negroes, stop telling another slave what they should do and what they shouldn't do, and apply your own message. Like Teddy, like what's his name? Used to say, Barry White, practice what you preach. You know. So yeah, that's where that's at. You know, people, you know, people ain't got time for that. You know, you running around, you know, trying to convince and tell other black people what to do. You just another damn slave, Negro. And that's just the bottom line to that. And that's what the society look at you as. And until you do something else different to change that narrative for real, that's all you're going to be is a damn slave. Including myself, including Brother Snuff, including Brother Denzel, including, you know, the deacons of reality. We all still going to be slaves until we do something else.
That's right.
Entirely different about this situation. Until then, we don't need to be telling another slave what to do. And that's part of our problem. We always telling another slave what to do. You know, you already talking about, well, why don't you lead the charge? No, let's commonly come collectively together.
Mm-hmm.
All that talking about leading the charge ain't got us nowhere.
Exactly.
That's why we got a bunch of leaders that was assassinated.
Mm-hmm.
And to this day, they families have been forgotten about and all kind of stuff, let alone the living. Those that stayed alive, that's languishing in prisons because they was trying to fight for us to be liberated from an oppressor. We forgot about them. So don't sit up and tell another slave what to do. And with that said,
yes, sir.
I'm going to pass the mic back to our brother, Angel Snuff 7. And thanks for letting me speak. And peace to everyone who's listening and who will be listening when this video is posted.
Yes, sir. And last but not least, brother Denzel, did you have any last?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
I just got one more thing. I keep it short. Hey, I think one more thing about family that I think black people don't understand, you know, the idea of it. You know, a lot of these pro-black people, you know, when they say, you know, they related to the ancient Egyptians.
Mm-hmm.
But I just found I just found this out. But you know, a lot of the dynasties, most of them practice incest. And I thought about it, they didn't have an understanding of family. See, they were so busy into keeping things into themselves that King Tut, like, he had health problems.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't even know that. And I'm just saying, if you want to learn, they don't even understand. A lot of the pro-black people don't even understand that. You know, they didn't have the idea of expanding their family outside.
Mm-hmm.
It would be beneficial, but they didn't understand that. And you know, and see, that's the reason why I can understand the importance of family expanding. Because if you're not going to, you know, develop a community where everybody is treated the same, therefore you're able to work together, you're gonna fall. You know,
That's right.
you're not gonna survive. So, and apparently King Tut was the last of his lineage.
Mhm.
And you know, after I found out that sick stuff, you know, I was like, you know, I couldn't believe that. The dude had, I mean, he just had health problems, and you know, that's all I got to say. That's it. You know, it's just one thing.
Yeah, I've been bringing that up too to them. They get quiet. They don't talk about that. We part of royalty. I said, what? I said, so you practice incest, right? Because that's what they was doing. Not only the Africans, the Europeans did it to all that royal stuff because they didn't want to mix their blood with, you know, with the peasants, you know, regular folks. So they kept it in house. They did the same thing in Europe too. I said, y'all nasty. You know, these people sleeping, you know, sons were sleeping with their daughters. Fathers getting their daughters pregnant. You know, all that crazy stuff. Matter of fact, what they say, son kill their father so they can marry the mother. Crazy stuff. The royal people's doing crazy stuff. No. And then when you think about some of those ancient people, they was doing some crazy stuff. They was into human sacrifice and all kinds of crazy stuff. I said, no. You can be an African all year. Go ahead and do that. I can't do that. I want to make this point, and maybe you brothers want to comment on it too before we split. About this sister, she's a judge, being nominated for the Supreme Court or whatever. Me personally, I'm not excited about it. It's nice, I guess, whatever. I would rather have my own country, my own, something that I can control. The hell with the Supreme Court. I don't give a damn. And I also do understand that her mentality, she don't give a damn about black people like that anyway. So I don't know what you're getting excited about. It's just symbolism. Ooh, a black woman on the Supreme Court. She don't give a damn about you. She don't give a damn about the community.
Clarence Thomas, who's already in there.
Yeah, he don't. You know, he don't care nothing about no black folks, or whatever. He ain't never shown no love. You know, just because it's a black face there.
His ass, Trump loving Caucasian white.
Yeah.
On top of that, go ahead, brother. Excuse me.
Yeah. Well, all I want to say, because we was talking about. Was it you or Denzel? You was talking about the brothers. Oh, you just talked about that, Taalik. You was talking about how some of the brothers don't know how to step to the sisters and they reject the sisters or whatever, and they or the brothers.
They're afraid to step to the sisters because the sisters rejecting them.
Yeah.
Keep rejecting them. Yeah.
Now see, look. Now a lot of pro-blackity black married that white man, whatever. You know, that's the first thing they would say. But if you look at this sister. You and I both know, in our hood among us, she's not gonna be Miss Beautiful. She's not gonna be one of the first one. Damn, man, I got to deal with that. You know, you can look at her. First of all, she's too dark skinned, and even these pro-black folks talking like blackity black stuff, they're not gonna want nobody with dark skin like that. All right, I don't care what they say out their mouth. They're not gonna like her because she's dark skinned, and she's not really that attractive like. And she's probably was a nerd back in the day. She ain't giving up no panties like that because she's focused on her work, trying to make something of herself. You know, you want the panties. She said, damn, I'm trying to stay. Will you get your horny ass away from me? You know, so we already know that. So the thing about a lot of these Caucasian guys, you know, they play the nice role. You know, they come up there and say some nice thing. What they say, you get more bees with honey than vinegar. So what is she gonna do? You got the brothers ain't gonna give her no play because she's a nerd. She's a nerd. She ain't giving up no panties. Plus, they don't believe she's all that attractive. You know, but here goes a white guy that accept her exactly for what she is. He don't care about the clothes she's wearing, don't care about what the kind of car she's driving, or none of that kind of good stuff. And he's gonna talk to her kind and treat her like a human being. So you're gonna fault her for going with kindness, then your damn ragged ass stuck up, man. She ain't good enough for me. You hear brothers say it all the time. I bang her, you know. I bang her. Ain't no problem. I'll do that, but you know, she ain't my kind of. You know, I wouldn't take her home to mama or nothing like that. And it goes the same thing with the sisters too. You know, you got a certain brother that you whatever, and we live in a society where people, They looking for love. Like me, I can be a loner. I've never been. Matter of fact, I wish I had just left the whole love thing alone. I just stayed to my damn self. I've been more cool. I can hang, but a lot of people can't hang being alone. They have this idea of a husband and the picket fence and the dog and the children and all that kind of stuff. I've never had that picture in my life anyway, so I don't trip off of it. But you do have that, and here goes a white guy, and he's probably doing real good economically too. Got a nice house, he dressed, do whatever, and he's supporting her in what she's doing, so she's gonna go in that direction. You can't. How the hell you gonna condemn somebody for doing what they feel is in the best interest of themselves? I have nothing to do with that. My only problem is, sister, could you help a brother out? Can you help your people out a little bit? I understand your situation. Why you just got to go all the way out? But then look how Negroes treat each other. Look how we talk. Who want to be part of that?
And you know, I say that to what you're saying. You can't really blame her.
Yeah, can't really blame.
So just like I said, just like you can't blame the brother from going the other way, you can't really blame the sister from going the other way. And it's vice versa in that situation. And that's where a line got to be drawn on that note. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, but that's true. You cannot condemn nobody because somebody else shown them the kindness that you could have did, but you didn't do. You didn't want them until you seen them with somebody. Now all of a sudden, she's supposed to be. You could have had her. We probably could have had her first, but she ain't good enough for you. She's too damn black. She's ugly. You bang her, but that's all you want her for. Now you mad because the white guy got her, or the Mexican, or the Chinese guy got her. You didn't even want her like that. See, we tripping. You tripping. But the main thing, all that's not even top priority. All that means nothing when you're a damn slave anyway, because when it's all said and done, you don't have no kind of control. You have no power over nothing. You don't control a damn thing. Who give a damn about what you think or what you like? Do you think that woman care about what Negroes like or what they think? She don't give a damn. Caring about you, what you talking about. She got hers. I got mine. She'll send your ass to jail for forever and won't even think about it tomorrow. Because you know these people, if a Negro hurt them or whatever, they ain't gonna forget that. And they'll blame every Negro they see. What you in here for, snap nut? Well, ma'am, I'm just here. They said that I'm a domestic terrorist. Yeah. Well, they said, ma'am, I'm a domestic terrorist. You know, and 10 years, 20 years, pow. You know how that goes.
A lot of black cops think that way too.
Sure do.
The rubber brother up in the streets.
Sure will. They don't forget, you know, you was a nerd or whatever in school or whatever, and these guys bother you or whatever. You become a police officer, and you take it out on any Negro that you see out in the street.
That is true. That is
now, chances are she's going to be on the Supreme Court, and that's symbolism. A lot of Negroes, oh, happy day! What a joy! She's a black woman. She's black and she's a woman on the Supreme Court. Yay! Yay! But it's nothing but symbolism because she don't give a damn about black folks, soul people, and when it's all said and done, it's our fault. Look how we treat each other. Look how we talk about people. I don't care about your husband, ma'am. I don't care about that. But these Negroes will get on her and talk about, you think she don't watch the internet? And these Negroes, she with that white man. You think she's not looking at all that? Yeah, wait till I get a chance to get your happy ass. Talk about my man. These people stupid. They just stupid. They don't.
Might allow ruling on some legislation to really push our progress back as people behind that.
Absolutely. We run our mouth so much. What they say is it's an old saying. We cut our nose off despite our face. We burn bridges because we got a big mouth and we're arrogant. How you gonna be arrogant as you are and you don't have nothing? You should be humble as possible. You don't even have nothing and running your damn mouth. These blackity black, that black power, Pan-African, all that kind of stuff makes things worse for us. And we have people that actually listen to that garbage. You're making things worse for us because you don't have nothing. There are people in positions that can change things for us, that might do something for us, but they won't do it because fool, because you talking stupid. I would say this, huh?
Remember Sister Maxine Waters used to be very prevalent in the black community?
Yeah.
Speaking out on certain issues?
Yeah, she was.
Well, you don't hear her like that no more.
Well, she's older too. How old is she? She's not.
She's probably in her 70s, 80s.
Yeah,
now,
she's not.
Still,
Mm-hmm.
you made a good point. That may be one of the reasons why she's not as effective, also beside her age.
Yeah.
But that may be one of the reasons why she's not effective. Just, remember she exposed the federal government, the CIA, for being the reason why crack cocaine was put in the black neighborhoods around America, and she got no support.
Yeah.
So, people forget that. Maybe that's why she probably just said, well, what the hell with these Negroes? They ain't going to get behind me.
Absolutely.
Help them. Hell with them. They don't want to help themselves.
Right.
Let them go to hell. Yeah. So you're right. You know what I'm saying? Negroes get out here, and we already, it's bad enough, we are already an emotional people anyway. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So at least you say something. The least thing you say that's negative toward any black person that's in a position to do something about our plight in this country, you only making it worse for us by running your mouth all recklessly like that.
They're trying to sound tough, whatever, and try to sound big and bad and then whatever. You don't have nothing.
Exactly.
Now, a rattlesnake can get big and bad because he got some poison for you. You can talk. If a rattlesnake was a person, they can talk some real stuff. Here you are, barely got skin on your hand, talking like you really got something going on. Only thing these people can do while you running your mouth, they can cut you. They can take you off Facebook. They can cut your electricity off. They can cut your gas off anytime they feel like it. Cut your food off. You have nothing. You're not in a position to make no demands on nobody on anything, and you're making unnecessary enemies when you don't have to, because you got a big ass mouth.
Brother, I just want to say, let this be the last thing I say.
Yeah.
This last total thing I got to say, related to what Brother Denzel, I heard Brother Denzel speaking about. As long as these pro-blackity black folks on social media keep going at it with each other over these frivolous debates and all this other stuff, they be going at each other over, eventually, like Brother Denzel said, somebody gonna get a bullet put in them. Because I can already hear it.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna speak on nobody particular, but people already talking about, you know what I'm saying, pulling up and somebody come to their city and
right.
They gonna have niggas waiting on them and this and that to do this and that. That sounds like some straight up gangsta-fied stuff I be hearing. But I'ma just leave it at that because this is social media. But I'm just saying, he right. He's 1,000% right. With this so-called, what's the point of this black conscious social media stuff when you're not really trying to do nothing to really liberate our people anyway? All you're doing is using social media as a platform to spill your ignorance. Why don't y'all just get off social media and get on the ground and handle it like y'all say y'all willing to do? You see what I'm saying?
Right, exactly.
They go
politics and so-called pro-black consciousness when y'all really ain't trying to really do nothing to liberate nobody. just want to get on there and run your mouth and stuff. So now, you know, you're using social media as a platform, you know, not only to exaggerate your gangster behavior over, but also to incriminate yourself. Because don't think you being slick by talking the way you're talking, because if something happened to somebody, the first thing the white folks gonna do is go on social media and listen to who was talking, and because you know they know how to pin everything together.
Yeah.
You know, when they trying to put a case on somebody.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And they hear what you said, and they link you right to that situation. Next thing you know, you're sitting in a jail cell facing life. All over something stupid that could have been avoided.
Absolutely.
Because you don't like or disagree with what somebody said, or over some debate, crap, and all that kind of stuff. So now, you know, but yes, this is going to end up turning into, you know, like they said, how the Crips and Bloods came about. At first, they were black organizations working with people like the Panthers and the SNIFFY back in the 60s, you know? But they ended up becoming street gangs. The same thing like with the Vice Lords and the Black Gangster Disciples. They first started off as black community organizations in the 60s. And then that's what it came to. You see what I'm saying? So that's what we see in this pro-black conscious stuff on social media going. We see that going in a similar direction. And like he said, what's going to end up happening is that when somebody get a bullet put in them, ain't no turning back. And with that said, you know, thanks again for letting me sit on this panel, and peace out.
Yeah, Tahaka Bay said he had some folks pull up to his house. Didn't he say that, Denzel? I think he said that he actually had people pull up to his house.
Really? Yeah, but
unfortunately, you know, nothing went down. But it's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time because these niggas acting so crazy and they so emotional over stuff. It's just a matter of time.
And one more thing about that, they like what I found out now is you know, like it may get to the point, you know, where they may, I don't want it to be like that, but they may start, other gang members may start asking you, hey, are you conservative? Are you ADOS? Are you all this? And if they do, then something may happen to you. And that's what they do with the gangs and stuff too. Like, oh, where you from? They ask you that. Like, what set you part of? Like, you from out north or that? And I don't want that to happen. And that's what I think. I fear that that's where all this stuff is going to start heading. It's only a matter of time before they get into it. Like, let's say if Blexit goes and try to get some GDs to convert to be conservatives, I'm telling you, guns are being pulled out. They don't play. And I just don't want none of that to happen. But I fear that's where it's going. That's it. You know, I'm gonna let it go. You know.
Yes, sir. Okay, well, we're getting ready. We're gonna go ahead and let it go. I want to thank Brother Denzel. You're always welcome to come back, brother. I'm always send you an invite if you get a chance. You always come by and give us a little bit of your wisdom because it's much needed, and everybody enjoys what you have to bring to the session. Also, Brother Aleeyah, and I enjoy the conversation, and everybody enjoyed the conversation. I want to thank everybody in the chat room, Dickens of Reality and Mims and everybody that was in the chat room. Those who are listening and those who will be listening to this broadcast later, I thank you so much. And we're going to catch you on the flip. As Don Cornelius used to always say in parting, I wish us love, peace, and soul. Y'all have a peaceful night.
Yep.